Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to explain my main function, which its duty is to get information about the situation of the board, and after that it may suggest the next move function to do what it suggested. So and as you know, the intelligent function, it's not like a simple function which find to not occupied position and suggest that. So status of function, status of game function, which is starts by defining an status. It's a local variable. Also, it's an object, and it has two parameters: decision and suggestion. And after that, I used a class to make 8 objects, which are 3 rows, 3 columns, and 2 diagonal. And I used several attitudes to each object. The first one is is it winning situation or not? For example, as you can see, get win in this position. Win x, it's one attitude of each function, each object, excuse me, and will understood by number of x and number of o in each object, which maybe it's row or column or diagonal. And for example, if number of x is 3 and number of o is 0, obviously the winning happened, and the winner is x. And I define like this for O, another player, and I define get a stuck. Get a stuck means if one and x, because we have only 3 space in each object, and if one space occupied by x and 2 other space occupied by o, it means this object has a stuck situation status, and vice versa. If number of x is 2 and number o is 1, it's again a stuck situation. And the other one is not win. It means there is it means it's impossible to win, because if number of x are 1 and number of o is 1, it means it's not possible. to win, and the other one is about to win. About to win means we have two x and or we have two o. If we have two x, the other space is empty, and it's possible to occupy, for example, x, to have a tree of x, and it became to win. And I have another attitude about to having I told about that, and free to try for x. If we have only x or only o, it's better to choose rather than free to try, which means there is nothing and it's totally free. And I categorized this attitude for each object repeatedly. Each object is rows, columns, and two diagonals. And with this function count x and o, I will produce number of x and number of o to the class function, and it's a complex of if and for function. And row, column, diagonal, constructing item of body by class. Yes, and this function will use by class to make objects. It's also again a for loop, and it counts from 0 to 7, which means I have 8 objects. And by categorize each attitude and checking if someone is happened or not, we can make decision by this function. And the functionality of this function is for each it has a loop, for loop for all 8 objects to check if the most important or attitude of each object is happened, make a decision by this situation. And the next one is for O, and the next one also is about to win, which what I mean is the situation which is about to win, as you should remember, about to win is if we have 2 x or 2 o. It's more important to fill this gap to make win situation. And consequently I categorized the other attitude of objects, and by this function I will make a decision. And by using decisions I will make an action, and by defining this action function, and it is nothing but complex of if and for all objects, object 0, 1 and 2 and etc. What I mean is, for example, for object 1, it means row second. If make action of the decision is greater than 0, which the make action 0 is the winning, and it's not equal to 7, which means it is the tie situation. So it the function of this, or the responsibility of this function, make action, is to search empty position to inside of object 1 and return that to make a suggestion. And it continued until this part, and end of action. And finally I will return the object status, which has two attitude, which is decision and suggestion, to the entire of the code. Thank you so much.